And
Break my soul. You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul. I'm telling everybody.
Hi, welcome back to the Madeherselfaboss podcast, where we discuss mastering mindsets and methods to making more money, of course. I am Bree.
I'm your girl Shy, and we're excited that you guys are back for another amazing episode, right? So this episode, brace yourself, right? It's about mistakes. And have you made some lately? Because we sure have made some lately. And this this episode is really just highlighting that how mistakes helps us make more money. It helps us refine and redefine who we are, and it allows us a space of grace to keep going forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's another one of those transparent, they don't show you this on social media enough, but you need to see it to realize that you're human type of episodes. So please stay tuned. They happen, and we even want to share like one that happened at some point in time, just to show you, okay, we're human too.
Yeah.
So we were having an event. We were having an event, and this event involved a certain recipient of an honor, right? And it came with prizes, it came with acknowledgement, it came with, just having this woman get her flowers from us. And that day was crazy. We had to change the date. We had to change specifically where we were setting up at.
Vendors.
It was wild. It was wild, right? So
The big pivot.
The big pivot. And this is one of those mistakes where you think you got it.
Yeah.
You think, we got it together, but like there was something missing. So we awarded her. She felt special. She had all the things, but we forgot in that moment to also acknowledge her prizes.
Yes.
Woo! And so we're just going along. The event ends with me and Sean like, well, we got through that. Yeah. That was crazy, right? But we got through it, like patting ourselves on the back. Right. And then it wasn't until feedback that we realized, like, oh my gosh, we didn't do it. We didn't do it. And we hope that this woman does not feel slighted by us.
Yeah.
And you go through all those emotions when you first realize that a mistake has been made. Like, oh my gosh, what are they going to think? My business reputation, everything.
Yeah.
So
all the thoughts that flood through your mind in the moment of recognition, like, oh shit, shoot.
Yes.
We forgot.
Yes. So in Bree and Shy fashion, we got in touch with each other like immediately. I think Shy got in touch with me while the feedback was still being given, like mid typing, mid voice memo. And we hopped on the phone with her. We got it taken care of immediately. Yeah. Apologetic, transparent, and there's something so important of just letting someone who feels slighted or wronged by your business to just hear your voice.
Yeah, very important.
And it just goes back into it's your integrity. Hopefully you've been running your business with a certain integrity up until this point. And though I always like to feel like your integrity should enter the room before you do, in cases of mistakes or whatever, but you also want to live up to that yourself. Like, look, this happened. We're sorry. We're getting it fixed right away, and we did. But that was like a moment.
Right. So let me go back for you guys because I'm typically the girl that's in the back. So let me peel it back. So we acknowledge that we made a mistake.
Yes.
After feeling all of the emotions in the moment versus sitting in the emotion, we quickly made action happen. We reached out to one another. Hey, we just realized, girl, we made this big mistake. Let's fix this real quick. The acknowledgement part meant we picked up the phone. We didn't send a voice memo. We didn't send a letter in the mail. We didn't send an email. We picked up the phone. Personal touch to call this person so that they can hear our hearts over the mistakes that our heads made, right? Another layer, transparency. We had a transparent conversation with the person so that they knew we did make a mistake. We are heartily and truly sorry, but this is what we're doing right now to render the mistake, right? We had the conversation, we made the plan, and it happened less than 24 hours, might I say. So the urgency on making sure this person continues to feel seen and heard and know that they matter in the midst of us making and owning the mistake that was made, right? That happened. Then doing that, and then the solution happened, and it's continuing to go forward, right? So I think in those moments of mistakes where from a customer standpoint, for customers, because mistakes are going to happen. That's just a part of our growth.
It is.
Being able to quickly rectify the situation, being quickly to admit you're wrong, because we're human. We're going to make the mistakes. But even better, having that conversation with the customer or client and doing right by them. Like, this is what I will do, this is what I can do, and this is what we can do together.
Super important. Super important. Now, granted, we're not talking about, let's just put a line here,
Okay.
like clearly what a mistake is, right? Mistake is when something from you has been stated, promised, all the above, and that doesn't happen, or something's forgotten, or something, the ball was dropped somewhere. It's not where the customer just has a complaint out of the realm of what you did promise, what you did, what they're supposed to be getting.
Right.
There is that customers always right mindset, and even that's like a fine line, because some people be asking, be pushing and pressing. Pushing and pressing. These are for the scenarios where, it's clear and you can acknowledge, like, it's on me.
Yeah.
And we're here to tell you as a business owner, because, again, another thing that's not talked about enough, everyone just wants to show their highlight reel, that it's okay, it's normal, it's going to happen. It's all about what you do.
Yeah.
After that, it's all about what you do. So why do you think in this culture, we kind of talked about in the last episode of certain things not being shown, and we have this, like, these guilt and blame for ourselves. Why do you think it's not shown when human beings are just being human beings?
Because it's not sexy. It's not sexy. It's not what people, I'm gonna say, quote unquote, want to see. And a part of shame goes that, like, I don't want them to know that I made a mistake. I don't want them to know that. I just want them to know that this is what it is, and I'm great, And I think what makes us connected, you watching us connected, is that, like, on the other side of the screen that you're watching, we make mistakes too. Like, we're not perfect by any stretch of the means, and we're perfectly okay with not being perfect. I think a part of that goes through us embracing mistakes and embracing all the shoulda, coulda, wouldas at the same time.
Yes.
And I think that you need to understand that when you're embracing your mistakes, you're actually opening up potential for you to make more money, because you're learning from the mistakes that happen to you or through you, right? And I think, as the example was told, through customer service, we learned how to have a stronger communication with our customers. We learned how to make sure that we have things in place so that it's not forgotten. A checklist, making sure that things are put on the website, just different check places where that things will not be forgotten the next point in time, right? So you're learning how to better your operations. So that we learned how to better our operations, we also learned that, even in this moment that we are admitting our mistake, we did a damn good job rectifying that.
We did. Be your own PR team when it comes to the situation. Imagine you're some celebrity and something's being done. Like, what would your PR team be trying to have you hurry up and do? Quickly. Okay. Acknowledge we're fixing it. And the reason for that, like, once it's happened, right? I like the thought of going above and beyond and actually being transparent about it, like we just were, because to me, this is building more trust between you and us. So if we realize that something happened, say it was something else, anything, like you said, like someone was whatever. With us acknowledging that it was there, that's also us acknowledging that we're going to be mindful of that going forward. It's acknowledging that maybe we've put some other things in place, so now it's even like better, right? Absolutely. To ensure customer satisfaction. Yeah. Like, depending on how you think about it and how you, I don't want to say how you twist it, depending on how you present and how you communicate and how transparent you are, it can be flipped into a good thing and a real trust factor. Like, wow, I feel closer to them. They're normal. They do a good job. They really care about their customers, and now they're going above and beyond to make sure that scenario doesn't happen to me.
Right. So I think embracing the mistakes that do happen in your business, whether it's client facing, whether it's the business within itself, whether you drop the ball or not, I think it's giving you an opportunity to step back, redefine, refine, and then go forward with something better, which will equate to you making more money down the line. So we want to make sure that you are embracing the mistakes. It's a part of the journey, no matter what. And yes, this is a business podcast, but it's also a part of your life, right? You are going to mess up. You are going to let somebody down. You are going to go back. You're going to do the things, right? But long as you're acknowledging and you're having the conversations and you're holding yourself in integrity, holding yourself accountable, being self-aware, all these words, right? Then I believe that you will be truly okay to keep pushing forward. So embrace the mistakes that are happening to you, and be okay with it. Be okay with it. So what are some of the, let's pivot. What are some of the common mistakes that you see our entrepreneurs are making right now as they're trying to grow their business? What would you say?
So mistakes that I see that they're making is maybe just not being clear enough on deliverables, I would just say being clear. Anytime that there's room for things to be misunderstood or misconstrued, that is an opportunity for a mistake to happen. That's an opportunity for a customer to feel like a mistake has happened. That's an opportunity for for there just to not be a smooth customer journey, and it could be in the form of a mistake. So it's a mistake to not be clear. It's a mistake to not have your things organized. You're planning your business, your customer journey that I just mentioned. Just have all this stuff laid out so that you are less likely to make mistakes and forget things, and because you have to do less manually, right? So having your workflow, having your workflow in place. And it's also a mistake just to not take immediate action.
Yeah.
When things do hit the fan.
Yeah, that's good.
What would you say?
Mistakes I commonly see is I definitely agree with you on the clarity. I think clarity on who you're serving, what's the problem I'm solving. Anytime you're giving too many options, no one's going anywhere. Or you're saying that this is what you do, but on social media, on all your platforms, you're talking about a variety of other things. So it's not clear on what you do or who you serve or what problem that you're solving. So I do agree on all things clarity is one of the number one mistakes I see. But when I think about beyond that, I think about when the money comes in, another mistake I'm seeing is how people are appropriating the money when it comes into their business.
Ooh.
I think people have the intention to be good stewards over their money, but that's not what's happening when the money is coming in. So they're having to pull money out the woo-ha. They're trying to figure out how to pay their bills, but they're intermingling things when that is not what it was supposed to be for. So I think one of the mistakes is the money aspect of when it comes in, or mixing in with the money, not dealing with their own money traumas and their own money situations that are rendering why they're not putting the money in the right places.
I was gonna say, like, a lot of that is taught behavior.
Yeah.
A lot of it's taught behavior just to not be a good steward of your money. Even if you think you're a good steward of your money, like, you're selling your bills, stay paid, and you've been living smooth. You still have to be taught or told, or at least have some acknowledgement of when money comes in through your business, what is the proper way to handle that? Because I was very grown, already took my leap before I learned what should I be doing and how should I be divvying it up and things like that. So that is also either learned behavior or something that you do have to learn too. So that can be, some mistakes are things that you don't even know yet.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Things that you don't even know.
Learning experience. And this is why we're such a big advocate for research, coaching, programs, even when it comes down to this following, it don't have to be just us. Even just when it comes down to other people in your field, learn from others, mistakes, progressions, learn and take the advice and apply what applies to you.
Yeah.
So a mistake would be just to be a know-it-all.
Yeah.
And not evolve.
Yeah. I think, I forgot who I heard say, but forever being a student, you're forever learning.
That's a must.
Something new and different to help you. I think another mistake that I'm seeing is not asking for help. Bree has the whole speech of being the superwoman syndrome and all the things that come with that, but not being too proud or too prideful to ask for the help that you need. And 9 times out of 10, when you're asking for help, it can get you to your desired result a lot bit faster than you could on your own. So I think a lot of mistakes, because of the things that we don't know, we find out through mistakes, right? I think it's not asking for help or asking for the proper mentorship, fellowship that is needed to progress your goals. So I think a mistake is not having the right people around you to help elevate you to what you're desired for yourself or for your business. I think is a huge mistake that people are making. So besides the clarity, what's to do with the money, a lot of times people aren't marketing enough.
We learned that.
You're just not marketing enough. Sometimes you can have the right offer. You're talking to the right people. Everything is right, but you're just not asking for the sale. You're not marketing. No one knows you exist.
Yeah.
And you are too brilliant, too amazing, too talented for people not to know who you are. Yes, I'm talking to you. So you're not marketing enough. And whatever the fear or the mindsets, things that are behind you not putting yourself out there enough, it's stopping you from serving the people you're called to serve. So that is one of the commonly mistakes I can say I see a lot of people make.
Many. We both named many. But it's okay if you hear yourself in one or more of these. It's okay. We are human. We're talking about it now, so that you can acknowledge that there are some mistakes, maybe some areas of improvement, areas of opportunity, because they do happen, and it's okay. I'm in favor of normalizing talking about it.
That part. Can we normalize it?
Yeah.
I think when you're normalizing it, especially in the Madeherselfaboss community, that is something that is normalized. But one, you don't feel alone. You know that you can get the help necessary to render the mistake or before you even get into the mistake, because this is such a safe community where you can ask the questions that ponder your mind so that you can get the help you need. So think about that. Are you even in communities where you feel safe and don't feel that you will be judged for asking any and all questions that will help you grow? I think about that. That's probably another mistake, that we're not thinking about getting into those communities that help us feel safe and vulnerable enough to ask so that we can get the help necessary to propel us forward.
You need a support system. Yeah. No more superwoman syndrome. No
And
more.
with that being said, we are going to go on a quick little break. We'll be right back.
Hey girl, hey. So as you're watching this, we've just entered into the last quarter of the year.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness. So at this point, we really need to be thinking about what you're going to be doing next year. More importantly, to make sure that it does not look like it did this year. And here at Madeherselfaboss, we have the perfect thing for you. It is called per new year, it is a 1-day workshop. We will be working through all the gaps, all the problems, all the things that you probably went through this year, getting that figured out to make sure that your next year is going to be amazing, that it's going to be a up level
Yes.
from the previous one.
Yes, like Bree said, this year cannot be another repeat. So get ready, get excited to come to our next workshop. It's going to be November 9th, and you're going to spend a cool half day with us as we help you get clear on your vision for next year, get confident about how you're going to execute it, and get excited because the new year is going to bring great, gracious things for you. So do us a favor, go ahead and enroll now. We'll be excited to get our hands on your business and help you prepare for your new year.
Because it's what? Your new year.
And we're back. Hey, did you miss us? So continuing the conversation on the big mistakes, right, that we've made. But let's talk through the big bounce back, kind of like the big payback, James Brown. But the big bounce back, because no matter what happens in our business, we can always bounce back from it. No matter how big the fall you feel it is, there's always opportunities to come back from that, right?
I'm going to say it doesn't always feel that way, but you can. You can. The world is not falling.
No, not at all. So let's talk through the bounce back. I think sometimes bouncing back takes reflection.
It takes Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't want to make any moves when a mistake is made without some kind of reflection.
Yeah. Taking time to realize, okay, what happened? How did I feel about it? How did I make the change for it? What could I do better to not make this happen again? And then out of all of them, what did I learn from this?
Yeah.
What truly helped me become better after experiencing this, right? So I think reflection plays a huge part in your big bounce back. I think another thing that plays a really cool part is mentorship.
Oh, yes, mentorship. That person who's usually when you have a mentor, someone who's in the position that you want to be in. And best believe if they're in that position, things have happened. Okay. Things have happened which make them excellent to be able to give advice on what to do in such situations. So mentorship, coaching, all of that, even when it's a really good friend who knows what she's talking about, that's very important. And by the way, a lot of the things we're about to talk about, we did touch on in the beginning. We're about to go in. Okay, so get in community, mentorship, coaching, having someone who's maybe more in the position than you are of where you want to be, and being able to ask, like, what should I do? Because just the feeling of knowing that someone else has been through something similar, someone else can give you some sound advice that's not based on the emotion that's pumping through your chest right now,
So
can be so comforting, right? No one wants to feel like we've done something alone, or that we're alone in the decision making on what to do next.
And then you're learning how to best solve the problem, especially when it's a situation where you may be unclear on how to solve it. Having that mentor, who, like you said, who's been through the things, help you guide you through it. You're learning, okay, this is how I deal with this situation. This is how I better my operations for a situation like this if it should ever happen again.
Right.
So you are also learning how to become a better service provider through your customer service. So that's another thing.
And that mentor could get you right. Faster to figure
the
it
right
out by yourself.
words, the right situation, how to go about it. Yes. So definitely seek out mentorship in all the ways. It's good to have a counsel for yourself. And then I want to think about also your big bounce back also contains strategic planning.
Yeah. It has to. I mean, like we kind of said just a few minutes ago, just like you have to reflect before you take any action, you also have to have a plan, because after you resolve the problem or address the problem, what is to happen after that? Are you going to fall into this again? How might others react to your reaction to the problem? How do you want things to just be handled going forward in the best possible scenario? So after reflection, after asking for this advice, you collected all the information that you wanted to gather. Coming up with that plan can help you to even just move forward more confidently in what you have to do next, because it has been thought through. So yes, a plan is just very integral, important, necessary, a must have before addressing a mistake, because you really do want to as much as possible, think about all the scenarios
Right.
of which this could end and be prepared for that.
Yeah. I know this episode was a lot, but it was necessary because mistakes are a part of our journey.
Yeah.
Mistakes should be embraced and how we move forward in becoming the bosses that we want to be. So we want to make sure that you guys really stay tuned to this episode, because throughout the journey, throughout the levels that you get to, mistakes are going to happen, but it's all about how you learn from them and turn those lessons into successes for yourself. Now, don't leave just yet, because you know you have 3 journal prompts that you need to do that are below, that are very important as you are in your journey becoming the bosses that you want to be. So please do your thing. Please share this episode out to 2 or 3 business friends or friends in general, because we want to expand our exposure in helping more women become the bosses that they want to be. So if you could do that, we will be so grateful. So now that we are about to close out, make sure that you turn your mistakes into wins, so that you can forever be learning and growing into the bosses that you want to be. Until next time, bye.
We'll see you then.
Every now and then, try to be fine, but I can't be. Not in my mind, what I need.